Good afternoon, everyone. Our Jerome Harris here from eprophetic.com. And in today's topic, it's going to be somewhat controversial. Most likely, it will be something that many of you have never heard before. And as I've said in previous videos, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not going to tell you the easy stuff. Well, that is not all of the easy stuff. This will be a very difficult pill for many of you to take and to digest into your systems. But if you could, please consider it and step out of your comfort zone, if just for a moment. If you don't like it, you can always go back into your comfort zone. I don't like to feel comfortable with many of the things that I see being taught with regards to matters of God and Christ. I only feel comfortable in those things that I know, and that I know I don't want to say for a fact, because I think that's worldly, based on human understanding, but based on what my spirit tells me and confirms within me, and also what my Master Christ Jesus has taught me and still teaches me from the heavenly realm. Now, I always encourage everyone to do their own research and pray to the Father. Ask Him for illumination. Ask Him for His understanding, for His knowledge and His wisdom. We can't rely upon our own because we are flawed. And also put to the test the things that you hear. That includes the things that you hear from me. Okay, so this topic, and I have notes here that I have to go by because I have a lot of information here. And even though I do have it up here in my head, the notes keep me on track, and they keep me organized so I don't jump all over the place. So this topic is the devil, demons, fallen angels, are they the same thing? These are facts that I've researched on my own, and I encourage you to do the same thing, as I said. But did you know that the word demon appears 37 times in the Bible? That the word Satan appears approximately 60 times in the Bible? That the word devil appears approximately 60 times in the Bible? That the word devils, that is plural, appears 0 times in the Bible? And that the word serpent appears 40 times in the Bible? The word dragon appears 20 times in the Bible? And the word fallen angel, or I should say the words fallen angel and fallen angels, that's plural, never appears in the Bible. So a good place to begin would be in the book of Genesis. There are those who believe that the serpent there in Genesis was a demon. They believe that he, at that point in time, was a devil, was the devil. Well, that's not true. Not at that point in time. Serpent, that many people know as the serpent, was a cherub. God placed that cherub in the garden, along with Adam and Eve and the other creatures who live there. Now, for those of you who don't know, a cherub is a very high-ranking angel. A very high-ranking angel. So this cherub had lots of responsibility. And this cherub, like we do today, we're free moral agents. We have the ability to choose good and bad, to do good and bad, to speak the truth, to speak the lie, to remain in the truth, or jump out of it. Cherubs are not robots. But this high-level cherub is an angel, a high-ranking angel who was there in the garden. Now, this cherub spoke to the woman through a serpent. And that's how the devil operates. If you look at the pattern, if you know what's written in the Bible, you know that the devil, he speaks through things. And that's why things such as idolatry are condemned. I shouldn't say in the Bible. Of course, it is condemned in the Bible, but I don't like giving a book credit for the things that the prophets say, such as Moses, received from God. But I think you guys get my drift. Idolatry is something that is not cool, because it's through those things that the devil is able to communicate and influence people through. Now, you'll find in Ezekiel chapter 28, verses 11 and 19, that this cherub is mentioned. And if you read that account, and I'll put it on the screen here at Ezekiel chapter 28, notice how this cherub, this angel, is described. He isn't described as some hideous looking creature that we see in art, film, and literature and portrayed to us and pushed out to us via the motion picture industry. This cherub, and indeed all angels, even those that people believe are demons, and I think what you're going to hear me say later on is going to be very surprising to many of you, but you find that this cherub and angels are described as very beautiful creatures, if one could see them. Now, we can't see angels because they are spirit creatures, they're invisible, but their beauty is compared to precious stones and gems. They're beautiful, not hideous. Now, in the account in Genesis, you will never see the words demon and devil mentioned there. You only see the word serpent mentioned there, and there's a reason for this. The reason for that is because at that point in time, there was no devil, there was no Satan. There was simply that cherub who spoke to the woman through a serpent. And it was that cherub, when that cherub disobeyed God and lied to the woman, basically slandering God's name, that cherub took upon that characteristic of being a slanderer and a resistor. That is, Satan and devil. So God did not create Satan, the devil. God created the cherub. It was that cherub who became Satan and devil later on. Now, many may have a difficult time with that, but check it out for yourself. You will not see the words devil, demon, Satan mentioned in the book of Genesis. Only serpent. And I've used this analogy before, that when a mother gives birth to an infant, that infant isn't conceived a criminal. That child grows up and becomes that, if that's the route that that child goes in. See, the same thing with that cherub. That cherub became that. God didn't create an evil being. He doesn't create evil. When he created us, he created the first man, he didn't create him evil. Adam disobeyed God on his own accord. God didn't create Adam to disobey him. So please keep that in mind. It's also important to note that, and again, do your own research, Satan is never referred to as a demon. Never. You will not find this, and I challenge anyone to show me where we read in this book called the Bible where Satan is called a demon. You see, what I'm getting at here is that demons and the devil are two different things. They're not the same. Demons are not what people have been told that they are. And I think you're going to find what I have to say later on here is very interesting. It's also interesting, too, that demons are never referred to or personified by gender. In other words, demons are not referred to as a he. They're referred to as a demon. Like there are those back in the days when Jesus walked the earth, people thought that he had a demon. Not that he was the devil or the demon, he had a demon. Satan is, however, personified by gender. He's referred to as a he. So we're starting to see some distinction here between Satan, devil, and demon. If you do your research, if you read the accounts in the Bible, you will notice that demons require cold or warm-blooded hosts to occupy. Satan, the devil, and angels, and Satan and his angels do not require warm-blooded human or animal host to occupy. Recall the account where Jesus had cast out two demon-possessed men who were in the tombs, and the demon-possessed men, they recognized who Jesus was. They knew exactly who he was. But they begged him that if he cast them out, to cast them or send them into a herd of pigs that were quite some distance away from that tomb there. And so Jesus cast them out and sent them into a herd of pigs. What did those pigs do? Those pigs ran off of a steep bank and into a lake, and they drowned in the water. That's how the account reads. But the point that I want you to focus on here is that Jesus cast those demons out of one host. In other words, two demon-possessed men, warm-blooded host, into another, namely pigs. And those demons caused the death of those pigs. So demons require warm-blooded and or cold-blooded hosts to enter into and to thrive. Very important. Satan the devil, angels, Satan's angels, and they're not demons. Satan's angels are not demons. They're simply angels, disobedient angels, do not require human or animal hosts to occupy. They have life within themselves. Demons are a different entity. They're something totally different from literal angels. These entities are extremely intelligent. Their power lies in their being undetectable, clandestine. They reside in the dark, so to speak. See, that's where their power is. Their power is remaining clandestine, invisible, undetectable. Their power also lies in persons not knowing that they even exist. That's where their power is. Their power is non-discovery. So if one believes that demons do not exist, then see, that's their power. If persons believe that demons are the devil, that demons are Satan, that demons are fallen angels, see, that's their power. Their power is also the lie. If one could enter into let's say a warm-blooded human host, what's in there? It's dark. There's no light in there. It's a dark place. But see, demons, they reside in those deep recesses of our bodies, and especially in our minds, where you can't detect them. You can't see them. They are beyond the atomic level. They're beyond the cellular level. But these entities are real. They're not just one. Demons are many. You can't count their numbers. If just in one person, you can't count them. Now I'm going to read something to you that I wrote down, and I'm not going to remember this verbatim, so please listen to this. Examples of demon infection / possession is this. Demon infection and infliction can be seen in cases of mental illness and dysfunction, madness, road rage, heated arguments, fighting, cruelty, insulting, hate, war, bigotry, rape, murder, sexual molestation, assault, robbery, adultery, envy, jealousy, idolatry, deaf and dumbness, blindness, greed, epilepsy, paralysis, seizures, belief in that which is false, etc., etc., etc. Demons are not from heaven. That's not where they come from. Demons were released back in the Garden of Eden. I'll talk about that in a few moments. But demons are a collective psychosis. Let me repeat that. Demons are a collective psychosis because they require human or animal hosts to occupy and to thrive in. They are a virus of the mind. They are a virus of the soul. And everyone within the human family are infected by them. And I'm going to give you an example. If you're out driving your car and you're in heavy traffic, someone cuts in front of you, what do you think? What will you say? Do you become angry? Do you exhibit road rage toward that person? Then you are inflicted. You have, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, I'm simply saying that some have it more than others. Another power that they have is to get one to say, well, that person has a demon, but you don't. They already got you. See, to believe that other people have demons or some type of mental illness and that you don't, then they already have you. They already have you in their power because they've gotten you to believe that it's the other persons who have the issue and not you yourselves. We are all infected by this virus, and there's no way to escape it until in those future days Christ destroys Satan the devil and these demons. The devil is their king. He's their ruler. He's their director. And if you can visualize a literal virus, let's say such as that coronavirus that all of us that impacted the entire world, demon infestation, demon infliction is far, far more rampant than that. It's in the air. It's in the very fabric of everything that we are in. The prince of the power of the air, as I said earlier, is their king. They're in our minds, they're in our bodies. And when we speak things that we ought not. We say things that we ought not. We believe things that we know that are not true. If we are in denial, see, that's their power. That's how they inflict us. And and that we are, say, approaching 8 billion people, we are, in a sense, in very close proximity with one another. So it's very difficult not to get infected. And I use that example of road rage. Or you can have an argument, say, with a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a wife, a husband, a coworker, whoever, or with a person of another religion, and you guys get into a heated debate or about some political view, and there's heated exchanges. See, both sides are hurling things at one another. See, that's the infection. That's the collective psychosis. We are a collective. The human race, we are a collective approaching more than 8 billion people right now. So it's very difficult not to be infected. The only way that I suppose you couldn't be infected by demons who are, let me repeat this, because demons are this collective psychosis, this virus of the mind, body, and soul, would be if you lived maybe on some other planet. There really is no place where they can't reach you, because please understand that demons not only need a human host to occupy and to thrive in and to spread that collective psychosis onto other people, they can also reside in cold-blooded creatures, say, such as aquatic life, other animals. If it has blood in it, demons can occupy it and thrive in it and spread it. You've seen things such as bird flu, bats having diseases, and humans contract those diseases. Demons are the disease. They are the virus. They are the collective psychosis. They are the virus of the mind. And one wonders why people are acting so crazy in the world today. It's because this collective psychosis is spreading and it's getting worse. It's in the air. It permeates the very air. The way you would combat that, the best to one's ability, is to cling very close to the one that the Most High God sent, Christ Jesus. You must know his teachings. You must be aware. Understand this too, that demons exist in the unconscious and the subconscious. So therefore, we must be conscious, aware, awoke to their existence. Even though we can't see them, we must be aware that they are. If you are aware that they are and how they operate, then you will be one step ahead of most people because you are aware. And awareness is one thing they don't want. They want to remain in the dark. They want to remain clandestine. They don't want to remain undetectable. But that you are aware of them and how they operate as a virus. Demons are like cannibals. They're never satisfied. Never satisfied. That's why when Jesus cast out those demons out of those two demon-possessed men, it wasn't enough for them to leave that man. They needed to go into a herd of pigs. Not just a few pigs, but a herd of them. Their appetites are insatiable. One has no clue. And this is not being taught in the religious systems of the world. People are being told that demons and fallen angels, an expression that really is made up, are the same thing. They're being told that the devil himself is a demon. The devil is not a demon. He's an angel. He's a disobedient angel. Demons and angels, two different entities. Angels are far, far superior than demons. Demons are they're evil, they're tricksters. And demons can be agents of death. And we saw that in the example of where Jesus cast those two demon-possessed men, or cast the demons out of those two demon-possessed men into a herd of pigs, and those demons caused the death of those pigs. So likewise with the human family, who are all infected and inflicted with this virus of the mind, the virus of the psychosis, we do harm to one another. And this is an historical fact. We have gone to deadly war with one another. We have enslaved our brother. We have coveted our brother's property, his wife. We've performed many heinous crimes against amongst one another in the human family. What causes that is this collective psychosis, demons. We are all infected with them. And again, some more than others. You ever wonder why people like, say, Jeffrey Dahmer or Charles Manson and other persons of ill repute that we read about in newspapers and we learn about on the news, why they do such things? It's this, see, they have been infected more than others. I believe, now this is just my opinion, there's something called DMT. It's a narcotic that a person can smoke, ingest, and they temporarily go into some other world, so the story goes. I know Mike Tyson, Joe Rogan, and others, they've experienced that. But what I find interesting with that is that they enter into a world that they claim is as real as the world that we are in right now. It's that real to them. And a common denominator that they all report, they see these entities, these jesters. Some even say they see this snake woman, and that the world is just vast and beautiful, and in some cases terrifying and in other cases awe-inspiring. It depends on the person who takes the DMT. But it's that they all report these tricksters, these jesters who come across as being devious, they're curious. I believe that what they're experiencing are demons. But these demons are only allowing them to see what they want to see. You see, because those demons occupy them as hosts. And so it is the demon that is in control. The demon can bring you in, and the demon can let you go. And their ultimate goal is to deceive persons. Now, what they see as far as these tricksters, these jesters, and other entities that they report, I don't believe that what they're seeing are demons in their natural form, because demons are invisible. They cannot be seen. But what those persons who take this DMT are experiencing are what the demons want them to see. Those demons are putting those visuals in front of them. And so when they come out of that experience, they're going to say, I saw. See, they literally saw something, when in all actuality, they were made to believe that they saw something. That's how powerful demons are. Let me give you a few examples here to help you appreciate how this collective psychosis works, which is really demon infestation, demon possession. Demon possession is not like what you see in the motion picture industry, like that movie The Exorcist, where it shows this girl, I think her name was Reagan or something like that, where she's doing all that crazy stuff. That's not exactly how it works. I'm not saying that those things have not occurred. I do believe that there's a whole lot about us in the deep recesses of our minds that we haven't tapped into, and that we are capable of those things, but are not aware that we are capable of them. Do you know someone who, it could be you, where they've wronged the other person or they've wronged you, and you want to exact revenge on that person? And you're going through all these emotions. You want to see harm done to that person. Maybe that person stole your girlfriend. I don't know. Whatever. I think you guys understand what I'm getting at here. But we're focusing on you. Have you experienced such feelings where you just want to exact revenge on someone? You are part of the collective psychosis. You are inflicted with demons. Another example is people, say, who are yelling and shouting at one another, whether this is at some political rally, people are out there protesting. It could be people who are engaged in discussions about differing religious or political views, but they're yelling across the table at one another. See, it's that collective, all persons involved, it's that collective psychosis. All there are inflicted with demons. Now, another example, and a lot of you are probably not going to like this one, but have you ever seen persons, say, within certain church groups or church organizations, where they call it getting the spirit? I've done videos on this, and people are skipping around, and you got the preacher up there yelling, and he's laying hands on people, and they're falling out and fainting, and people are in that's that same dance that they all do, where they're skipping around, and it's a frenzy. That's demon infliction. That is a collective. See, all persons there, they make up a collective. What you're seeing there is a collective psychosis. It's demon infliction. It's demon possession. Now, as I said earlier, demons they're not angels. Demons need a cold or warm-blooded human or animal host to live in and to thrive in and to spread the collective psychosis. While I've mentioned that demons are a collective psychosis, they're also a collective madness. They are a collective insanity. Now, Let me read this to you as well, because I want to make sure that I get it verbatim as I wrote it. And I hinted at this earlier. But one is powerless to be free of demons or to cast them out if one does not know what they are. This not knowing is their secret of remaining active in us. The act of denial that they are is their power. The belief that they are someone else, such as the devil and fallen angels, is their power too. To believe that demons are the devil and fallen angels, that's a lie. That's what they thrive in. They thrive also in lies and in darkness, not the truth. The truth is light. They can't handle the light. They run away from the light. How Jesus was so easily able to cast them out, because who is he? He is the truth. So he just speaks the word and they're gone. If we have within us lies and error, it's not going to be possible for us to cast out demons. They may give us the appearance that we're able to do that, but we can't. It's not possible for lies, that's darkness, to cast out darkness. That is only the light of the truth can expel them. And once they're expelled, they're going to come right back if you lower your guard. And most of us, being flawed and imperfect humans, will lower our guard. As soon as we say get involved in some incidents such as road rage or arguing with someone, we have given them an open door to occupy us again as hosts. They're very difficult to get rid of. Very, very difficult to get rid of. And especially in us, because we are imperfect and sinful creatures. Now, the Apostle Paul said something at Romans chapter 12, verse 2, which ties into this discussion. He says, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will." The point here, folks, is do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, because it is within this world that this collective psychosis, this collective madness, that this collective insanity exists. It's demon possession, demon infection, demon infliction that we're all in. It's a soup, so to speak. It's a virus. It's everywhere. So if we allow ourselves to be conformed to the way everyone thinks and the way everyone believes and the way everyone reacts to, say, something, but a lot of folks, even those who claim that they're Christians, no one's immune from this. We're going to all react and say things that we ought not. And when we do, we give demons an open door into the psyche, into our minds, to our bodies, and we become their hosts. The Apostle Paul also warned at Ephesians chapter 2, verse 2, he says, "In which you used to live when you followed the ways of this world, and the ruler of the kingdom of the air, the spirit who is now at work in those who are disobedient." You notice that? The ruler of the kingdom of the air. Not referring to the literal H2O that we breathe. It's referring to the spirit of the air. You can't see air. But these demons, you can't see them, but they're everywhere. They're airborne for an instant. So when Christ cast out those demons and those two men, they were airborne for some time period because they left the man and went into a herd of pigs, which the account says were some quite distance away. So those demons had to traverse out of those two men to some distance, let's say several miles away, and then enter into those pigs, that herd of pigs. So they're in the air as well. they're airborne. My point here is that demons are everywhere. They're like, how you go out to a beach and sand gets into everything? They're into everything that has blood in it. We have blood. That's how they get to us. We are hosts. They need hosts. Angels do not need hosts. I don't care it doesn't matter if they are the good angels or the disobedient angels. An angel is an angel. They do not require blood. They do not require a human or animal host to occupy. Demons and angels are two different entities. Now let's talk about where demons come from. Now, I stated earlier, demons do not come from heaven. Now, when I was in high school, I was really heavily into Greek mythology, Roman mythology, and Norse mythology. But in Greek mythology, there's a woman. Her name is Pandora. Now, Pandora really is the equivalent to the woman Eve. And if you go to the account there in Genesis chapter 3, verse 6 and 7, I'll put it on the screen here, we can see that the woman Eve, she's the one who released this collective psychosis, this collective madness, this collective insanity. She released the demons. How so? The creator of that virus, the creator of that collective psychosis was the serpent. He infected the woman Eve, and the woman in turn infected her husband, Adam, with the virus. And Adam passed it on to all of us, that is the world of mankind. Now it reads there in that account, Genesis chapter 3, verses 6 and 7, when the woman saw that the fruit of the tree was good for food and pleasing to the eye, and also desirable for gaining wisdom, she took some of it and ate it. She also gave some to her husband, who was with her, and he ate it. Then the eyes of both of them were open. There we go. That's where the demons were released. Pandora opened the box. See, God told them, he told the man initially, not to eat from the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. That box is to remain closed. Don't eat from it. Now, when a woman goes to the serpent, the creator of that virus, that collective psychosis, he tells the woman something different. Oh, you won't die. And so when she listened to the serpent, what did she do? She opened that box. She released the lie, because she passed that lie over to her husband. You will not die. See, demons thrive in that which is not true. They thrive in darkness. So a virus was transmitted from the serpent to the woman, from the woman to her husband. And all of us today, being the offspring of Adam, we have that virus within us, some more than others. Demons know if you have the truth within you. And they will even make you or get you to believe that you have the truth so that they can remain undetected within you. If you have a preponderance of truth in you, that is Christ's teachings, God's Holy Spirit, you're filled with spiritual light. It'll be very difficult for them to thrive in you. So thus, when you speak the truth to others, then what you're giving them is like a cure to that virus, because you're giving them truth. But here's the issue. When you speak the truth to others, many don't readily accept it. It takes time for medicine to operate in people. And some will even spit it out. You can tell them that Jesus is not God. They won't accept that. And for those of them who may initially accept it and then later on say, nah, I don't want to believe that. See, they don't want to believe that. Well, see, now they've kept the lie. They're easy targets for demons to go to them as hosts. But if you become spirit filled, and I'm talking about saturated with the truth of Christ's teachings, not the truth of Bible teachings. That's two different things, people. God didn't send us the Bible, He sent us His Son. He's the one that God said to listen to. Jesus said that He's the truth. He didn't say the Bible is the truth. He says He is the way, the truth, and the life. And no one comes to the Father but by Him. He's the truth. If we cling very close to Him, if we saturate our minds and bodies and souls with His truth, so that when we speak it, it's natural, it's not choreographed, it'll be very difficult for demons to possess you to the point where you become a part of this collective psychosis, this collective madness, this collective insanity. Because demons can't thrive in truth. They can't thrive in the light. They need darkness. They need lies to thrive in. But it was the woman, Eve, who released that scourge when she disobeyed God. See, she disobeyed God first. Her husband disobeyed God second. Because, see, she received the infection from the serpent and she gave it to her husband. And as I had mentioned about how those demons who entered into that herd of pigs, how they died, well, when the virus entered into the man and the woman, what happened to them? They grew old, got sick, and eventually died. Eternal life for all of us depends upon us having the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth within us. None of us today have that. If we did, we'd be perfect and we wouldn't die. See, that all of us have some form of demon infliction, demon possession, demon affection that is being affected by them. We get sick, we grow old, and we die. It will be Christ Himself, after we have died and have been resurrected, on the other side of that resurrection, that we will be taught God's righteousness. And during Christ's 1,000-year kingdom over the earth in those future days, where is the devil and where are his angels and where are those demons? They're abyssed with Him for 1,000 years. That way, they can't infect anyone. They're locked up. They're inactive. They're in dense darkness. In that dense darkness, there's no light. So they're not going to be able to interfere with that 1,000-year educational effort by Christ Himself to restore us to our Creator as perfect human beings, full of light, full of truth. And then what happens after the 1,000 years are over, as mentioned there at Revelation chapter 20, verse 7 and 8, Satan's released from his prison of 1,000 years. And what he brings out with him are his angels, that is, those disobedient angels, and those demons. Uninfected world will become infected again. And we read that at Revelation chapter 20, verse 7 and 8, where he goes out, that is the devil, goes out, and he deceives the whole world, Gog and Magog, in the four corners of the earth. So the infection begins again in future days after we will have been cured from the infection by Christ Himself during that 1,000 years of His kingdom over the earth. Once that infection in those future days starts to spread again, first a third of mankind will be affected by that collective psychosis. Then eventually almost everyone will. But it will be a little different because God will allow those things to occur to expose the evil in this this adversary, and then the devil, his angels, the false prophet, demons, they'll all be destroyed once and for all. Many people ask, well, why don't God just destroy the devil? Well, one has to think. There are myriads and myriads of angels in heaven, and they've been observing all these events from way back in Genesis. And if God had taken the devil, or the serpent rather, at that time in the garden, that cherub, a high-ranking cherub, and there are other cherubs up there in the heavenly realm, but if God had destroyed that cherub that spoke to the woman through the serpent, then there will be other angels who are observing all this, thinking, well, why did God so quickly destroy one of our brothers, this high-ranking cherub? Could it be that this cherub was telling the truth, that if the man and woman ate the fruit from this tree, that they would not die? So God allowed time to show that the serpent had indeed lied. And the evidence is here. We cannot govern and rule ourselves successfully. So the serpent, and now Satan the devil, has been shown to be a liar. Because the devil told the woman, you're not going to die. So what has happened to us right now? We're dying, and we do die. So the serpent lied. But God had to allow that to play out so all the angels, the other angels in heaven, myriads and myriads of them, to see this. So God did tell the truth. And our brother, this high-ranking cherub, did indeed lie. So that shows a wise God, in my view. So there you have it. Believe it or not, the devil is not a demon. The devil is an angel. He's simply a disobedient angel. Demons and Satan's angels, or what people would call fallen angels, no such expression exists in the Bible. But for the sake of this discussion, I'll use the expression fallen angels. If one wants to believe that Satan is a fallen angel and that his angels are fallen angels, okay. I don't believe that, but for the sake of those of you who do, I need to get this point across. Angels, whether they're obedient angels or disobedient angels, fallen angels, are not the same as demons. They're two different entities. Demons are almost always associated with some type of mental illness, some type of infliction. As I mentioned earlier, I mentioned several inflictions: blindness, seizures, deaf and dumbness, and they require warm or cold-blooded hosts to occupy. They cannot thrive in the truth. They cannot thrive in the light. They need darkness in order to thrive. And you saw the example of where Jesus cast demons out of those men who were in the tombs, and they went airborne for a span and went into a herd of pigs and caused the death of those warm-blooded hosts, that is, the herd of pigs. Today, the entire world is inflicted and possessed with demon possession, infliction, affection, or what one could call a collective psychosis. Demons are the collective psychosis. Demons are the collective madness. Demons are the collective insanity. That's why the world today is so crazy. No one is immune. Demons are within religious organizations, because within them, people are being taught lies, and they're going to be especially attracted to that. But if persons are receiving the truth, while they will have some form of demon possession within them, because we're going to say things, we're going to get angry, we're going to do things that we should not, if it's just for an instant. Well, that gives demons an open door to occupy you as a host. Wherever there is lies being taught, being spoken, demons are going to gravitate toward that because that is considered darkness to them. So that's why it's important that we know the truth. And for those of you who know the truth, who know your master, you know that the truth is Christ himself. He said this. It's not just him as a person as being the truth, but also the things that he taught. We must cling to his teachings. It's extremely important that we do this. We cannot trust us as the human entity because many of us think that we know the truth. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I know the truth. I know the one who does know the truth. That's Christ himself. I would think that it's an arrogant thing for me to say that I know the truth, or for a religious organization to say that they are the truth, for example. I'm not going to say that about myself. I'm going to show some humility here and recognize and acknowledge the one who is the truth, and I cling to his teachings and allow his teachings to act as a salve or as a form of a cure to help me from getting sick in a spiritual sense. While the infection is in all of us, the truth will help to mitigate that infection to the point where it's not consuming you. Because I know that I am imperfect. I know that I am an imperfect man. And that even when I leave this place right now, I'm sitting in a parking lot at a park near me. I can leave here in 5 minutes and get out here in traffic, and a person cuts in front of me, or maybe they will tailgate me, and it's gonna just agitate me because my thinking is, as a human, why is that person so on my tail? Why don't they just go around? Or why are they flipping the finger at me because I'm doing the speed limit? See, those are the kinds of things, those unexpected things that could happen to you in this world. You never know when they come, because we all are part of that collective. 8 billion of us. We are a collective, and we're all infected. And again, some more than others. So you want to make sure that what you have a preponderance of is the truth of Christ's teachings. And that is the truth. This is R. Jerome Harris. Thank you for listening.